So, nung saco din hobby turista na Aruba, no momento na nga aqui, ando tour dependiente pa eleksyon, tour da sintaong caminda, tour da base da sida, não ta queda din ng hotel of ng CAS, nanta buscam caminda pa wake resultado de eleksyon. Pode imaginar ko eleksyon dia 6 de dezembro da abo portata na vakansie na Orlando, bota busca televisão para subir app de Telearuba para ver resultado. O americano não conta na Aruba também as coisas. Ando yandel ta vivo e direto for the area hotelero. Yandel Bonoci, adelante.
Telenoticia Televidentinan Bonoci. We are reporting to you live from the high-rise hotel area of Palm Beach because our American friends here have a really important night. It is election day in the United States. Now, we will get to talking to some of our American friends in a moment, but let's not forget for now that Aruba also has a really important election coming up, and that is on December 6th. So, for now, let's learn the main difference between Aruba's electoral system versus the United States. Take a look.
Freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body.
Election season is here, and campaigning is in full swing in both Aruba and the United States, with upcoming elections in both countries. The United States and Aruba have very different constitutional systems and therefore electoral systems. One key difference is the use of a system of proportional representation versus a majority system. This has consequences for voting and the way votes translate to the allocation of parliament seats.
Very big difference is that we go for proportional representation here, whereas in the US you would need to obtain a majority within a district.
Hannah Meyer, a researcher and lecturer in constitutional law at the University of Aruba, explains that while the United States uses a majority rule system, Aruba operates under proportional representation.
Only if within a certain district a candidate gets a majority, they will be voted into parliament, which means that if you have a few big political parties, only those parties will actually obtain a seat. Whereas in the Aruban system, because all the votes get taken together and they add up to one number, it's easier as a minority to obtain a seat.
In Aruba's proportional representation system, a vote for a smaller party is more likely to result in a seat in parliament. This differs from the US, where smaller party candidates rarely secure enough votes to surpass major parties. Hannah explains further.
The Aruban system, because we use proportional representation, you don't need to obtain a majority within a district. You just need to get a certain amount of a certain percentage of the votes that were casted in total, which makes it more easy for also minorities to get chosen into parliament.
In a majority rule system like in the US, it's challenging for smaller parties to gain the votes needed to compete with larger, established parties.
If you have a majority system, and you vote for someone that belongs to a smaller political party, the chances that this person will obtain a majority of votes is, of course, very limited, which means that in basically all of the districts, a seat goes to one of the bigger political parties.
It's a pivotal time in both Aruba and the United States right now. Happy election season to everyone in Aruba and the US. I have to say, it was a really insightful conversation with Hannah that I had. I did learn a lot from her, so I want to personally thank her, and she's from the University of Aruba, of course. Now, we are here live at the high-rise hotel area in Palm Beach because, like I mentioned before, It is a really important night for our American friends. It is Election Day in the United States. Here I have with me Andrew and Kristen, who's from New York. Now, Andrew, I want to know, how does it feel being in Aruba? I'm not sure if this is your first Tuesday, Election Tuesday, being here, but how does it feel being on vacation in Aruba during such an important night for you in your home country?
I wasn't too nervous about it. We had the early voting, so my wife and I were able to do that a week ahead of time. And, simply put, we're just going to be at our hotel watching the news to see how it goes throughout the evening. So I wasn't too concerned about being down here.
Now, tell me, if you weren't in Aruba, on a typical election day on Tuesday in the U.S., what would you typically be doing? Are you glued to the set? Do you try not to watch? How do you feel?
Usually I'm glued to the TV because I want to see how it goes step by step and see who makes it to that 270 first to actually kind of seal the deal. But, a lot of the late voting and the polls seem that they're closing a little later than normal. So it seems like we might be finding out the next day who actually is the winner.
So I do want to confirm, Kristen and Andrew here did do your early voting.
Yeah, we both did, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And how do you feel, Kristen, about being here in Aruba on a night like Election Day Tuesday? Does it feel different? Because I have to think that it's a little bit more intense when you're back at home. Every channel is about the election. So how does it feel being here? Is it kind of out of sight, out of mind, or how do you feel?
It's actually, I do feel nervous, just because we're not home and we are on vacation. It's honestly, if we couldn't early vote, we wouldn't be here. So
because of course it's really important to get to the polls and cast your ballot.
Yes.
Yeah, we even called our kids at home to make sure that they went. So
okay, perfect. How old are your children?
24, 19, and 16, but he can't vote yet. So our two older kids voted today.
Okay, so I was watching TV right before our live shot here, and they had some interesting things to say with CNN, ABC, and NBC, just saying that you're really one-sided. You're either for Kamala or you're either for Trump. There's really no middle ground. However, there was about 60-70% of a survey that said American people feel like the next coming few hundred days are going to be the best. But isn't that interesting? Because people are divided, but somehow more than 50% think that it's going to be really great days coming ahead. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think that both parties, you're always going to have that feeling like it's going to win for you and everything's going to get better. But the truth of it is we have to see what that person does once they're put in the position. I voted the way I did, which was for Trump, but, I feel like we've seen what he can do, and I'm in favor of him. So is my wife. So.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Thank you. Now, we did secure one more American friend. He is currently having dinner. Oh, he's about to leave, so we need to hurry. Gabriel. It is our friend Tony. I didn't get to see where he's from, but let's hope he's still up for it. Hi, Tony. I hope you didn't forget about me. Good to see you again. We are on... They're about to pay their bill. Tony, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Can you tell me, how do you feel about being here in Aruba on vacation on such an important night like Election Day Tuesday?
I think it's awesome. I don't have to really sit home and pay attention to what's going on right now. So
that's actually great that you say that. I would like to know, typically, when it is Election Day Tuesday at nighttime, what would you be doing?
normally I'd be sitting at home watching CNN and Fox News, going back and forth just to follow what's going on. So
okay, and did you get your early voting in?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
3 weeks ago.
Okay, perfect. Now, before I was out here in High Rise Hotel at Palm Beach, I was watching, of course, NBC, ABC, and CNN, and they had a really interesting survey because, of course, I think it's no secret that people are divided, and you're either very much for Trump or you're very much for Kamala. However, there was a survey where more than 50% of the people said, I think it was 60 or 70%, that said that they think the best days are ahead. And I think that's interesting because people are divided, but at the same time, more than 50%, it was more than 60% that said they think the best is yet to come. So what do you think about that?
I would certainly hope so. I think it would depend on who actually wins. So, yeah, and I don't really want to say.
No. And what part of the U.S. are you from?
Idaho.
Okay, perfect. Well, Tony, thank you so much. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, I want to toss us back to the studio. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we have Evo in the studio waiting. And I just want to say, signing off right here in the High Rise Hotel of Palm Beach, Patela Noticia, Amita Yentolu.
Un reportaje super interessante, vivo e diretto.